Princess Sarissa back, and when we last left off, we just finished speaking with Sid, and he's really depressed because of the fire crystal being destroyed. We heard that his grandson Mid is in the ancient library, and now we're able to go to the ancient library because the wall has been destroyed, blocking the ancient library off. Remember, they were the ones telling the queen to not to turn off the machine, and so she was like, I'm tired of listening to them, I'm going to block them off. But now we can go down there because, hey, the wall's gone. I kept this battle in to show what the release command did. Different enemies do different things when released. That one, grass monster that we released, it casts a thing called Rainbow Wind, and that casts Blind, Petrify, and Sap on enemies, but it didn't really work on that one. So, but here we have another new enemy, the D Chimera, and we were told to watch out for this guy because he's pretty tough, and if we didn't level grind, he would be kind of tough. One thing that makes him a little bit easier though is he's really susceptible to the slow spell by the time mages. So I want to catch this guy because see that aqua breath that he used? He can use that on he uses that when he's released. So we want to try to catch him so we can have that multi-targeting spell. But as you see, we didn't damage him enough. We got to get him down to at least 1/8 of his hit points. So he has 1,000 hit points. So you know, we're looking at what, maybe like a little under like 200 hit points or so. A little under that. So but anyway, but like about 125 we need. Under 125 hit points we need to get him. So here we go. We ended up catching him. So I'll show what he does when I release him a little bit later here. And there's two new enemies that we want to find around this area. One is found in the forest area here, the Mithril Dragon, and the other one is found in the grass area. So we want to encounter both these enemies. And here's our first one. We got the Mithril Dragon here. So nothing too particularly special about him. So we can use some pretty good, you know, he has some pretty good drops you can get to sell. I see what happened with the whip there. One of the things the whip does is it can paralyze an enemy. So when it gets those like weird wavy lines around it after being hit by a whip, that means the enemy is paralyzed. So that's another reason why we have whiskers on the whip, because you know, it has that paralysis ability and it doesn't suffer from decreased damage from the back row or accuracy. So yeah, in that sense it's better than that Mangouche, which, you know, is stronger, but because it's in the knife in the back row, it wouldn't be strong. It would cut its attack in half. Here's our other new enemy, the Silent Bee. As you can see, we released that D Chimera, cast Aqua Wake, and knocks them all out. So here we are at the ancient library now, and a lot of people running around. They're going crazy. The basement stocks have been run over by monsters. He said something about looking for a book. I haven't seen him since then. Who's him? Mid? That's Professor Sid's grandson. I haven't the faintest idea where Mid's run off to. Okay. We just head up here, get some more plot. But first we're going to head up this area here. Talk with these scholars. A long time ago, a fleet were burned to possess books for us. A blue mage's journey. Finally started learning enemy skills. Arrow, level 5 death. A travel's journey. I'll give the strange staff I found to that man from Tycoon. Must be the healing staff. Only want to burn books that are possessed, but I don't know which ones are. And here we have a possessed book, page 32. All the enemies except for Efreet in this area are going to be weak against fire. So we want to actually catch this monster because this monster, page 32, when released, he cast an exile spell. And the exile spell can actually one-shot the boss of this ancient library. It is a low % chance, but still, you know, anytime you can maybe one-shot a boss, hey, that's pretty cool. So we don't know which books are possessed. Okay. And now let's talk with some people here. I feel like there's something quite important within these pages. Huh? Try to read the book, you can't read it. Why not? This is the library's oldest tome. However, half its pages have been lost, so it can't be read. That makes sense. 30 years ago, a monster, Biblos, appeared near the Wind Shrine. It was eventually sealed beneath this library. Biblos. Due south of here is the village of Jakol. They've excavated all sorts of precious items from the ruins there. It's this one, I think. According to one of our texts, long ago, the crystals used to be much more powerful than they are today. After learning that, Professor Sid created machines to increase the power of the crystals to their former state. Some books in the basement have been possessed by monsters. Such a shame. We got a free healing pot here. This is the Library of the Ancients, an archive of all texts. Why, you should be reading them right now. I'd rather go read books at the Wimbley Library. This is kind of a neat dungeon. I kind of like it. It's unique. It's short, but it has an interesting gimmick. How many times in games do you actually like run through a library possessed by ghost books? Not that often. So it's kind of neat. Yeah, unfortunately, the dungeons are kind of hit and miss in this game. They have some really good dungeons, but then there's some other dungeons that are just like a chore to get through. Luckily, this is a nice dungeon. Well, I guess as nice as it can be, possessed by monsters and ghosts. And over here we get our first treasure, an ether. Now, there is one annoying thing about this thing is, the books have different monsters in them, and you don't know which monsters are going to be in it. All of them are weak to fire, but see, you take out the monster, and a new one may appear. There's 4 different monsters. They're grouped by, powers of 2. So you got like 32, 64, 128, and then 256. So they kind of double starting from 32. So. But all of them are weak to fire. I guess that makes sense because they're ghosts possessing books, so ghosts tend to be weak to fire. And also, I guess because they're in a book, books burn. So, but you don't want to burn books. That's bad. So, yep. But the main thing is just if you have a black mage, run around, set them on fire. Now, one of the things is, if you have a blue mage, you can learn quite a few blue magic spells from these guys. I think the page 32 casts Arrow 2. Yep, there it is. That's a blue mage spell. The page 64 casts level 5 Doom. So that's one thing you don't want to do. You won't have every single one of your characters. You want to make sure that not all of them have a level in a multiple of 5. Because level 5 Doom, it casts the Doom spell, which is an instant death spell, on any character with a multiple of 5. So if everyone's like level 20, he casts that spell, everybody's wiped out. So, but you want to have maybe a blue mage with that spell, with that level, and have them get hit by it and then revive before the battle's over. Because in that case, you'll learn the level 5 Doom spell. And it's pretty good because there's actually some bosses that are grouped that are level 5. So you can instant one-hit them with that spell. And here we have a Freet. He is the only monster in this dungeon who is not weak to fire. He is weak against ice. So that's why, even though everybody's weak against fire in this dungeon, I still have ice rods equipped on Faris and Galef. Just to, increase the potency of our Ice 2 spells, so we can take out a Freet pretty easy. So, yep, three Ice 2s, and he's taken care of. And then we will, like in Final Fantasy 4, and actually even 3, with Bahamut and Leviathan, those 2 summons, when you beat a summon Esper monster, then they serve you, so. This is our first summon monster. You could have bought a few summon monsters back in Walse, in the town there, and then you can also get the Esper Shiva But we didn't get that Esper yet. We're going to go back later on in the game to get that Esper. Because we're going to get some treasure in the Walse Castle as well. But we need to be a little stronger to get that treasure because it's guarded by a really tough monster. Now, the reason we needed a Freed is because of this bookshelf. It says, like, no one can pass, and it just keeps blocking our approach. So if you try to go over to the right there, the bookshelf will shift again. But if you have a Freed, then the book pass lets you pass. It's scared of a Freed because, like I said, the Freed said it used to use a Freed to burn bad books. So we got this, it's kind of hidden away, this little ninja garb. I'm going to give it to Whiskers. He's the only one who can equip it. He also has the elf cape. We found that in the castle, in the burning castle, while we escaped it in our last episode. That's a really good accessory, especially for low-level games. What it does is it basically gives you like a 1/8 chance to dodge attacks, physical attacks. So it's going to help Whisker, avoid some attacks there. Anyone can use that elf cape, so it's not class dependent, so that's good. And then we have the last treasure chest in this area, a simple phoenix down. And we have another one of these little book mazes where we gotta go and find a trigger to move shelves around. And nothing down that door there, but we want to go this way, and we have a little battle against some page 32s and 64s. I'm going to save our game here because gonna have a boss monster coming up. And it's going to be, yep, you probably guessed it, minions, that Biblos. Because they talked about Biblos being sealed at the bottom of this dungeon, so. What's that, Mid? They probably should have said, who's that? Stay on your toes, I have a bad feeling about this place. Uh-oh. And we get ambushed. Sometimes Biblos here, he can attack you from behind. It's not guaranteed that he will have a back attack on you. So if you get back attacked, well, I guess you're just unlucky. And I'm unlucky there because my page 32 release did not instantly wipe out Biblos. But I'll do that off-screen later on, minions. Because like I said, I have that save just before here, so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to Fire Rods on Galuf and Faris, and then that'll increase their potency of their Flame Fire 2 spells. It's to help take out Mr. Biblos here. So, depending on, you have another 3 Fire 2 spells enhanced. Because Whiskers isn't enhanced, he didn't do as much damage as Galuf and Faris, but it's okay. Biblos has only 3,600 hit points, so one more black magic Fire 2 spell will take him out. And he used that magic hammer. It missed all of us, but one of the things, that's another blue magic spell that you can use. It's actually a pretty decent blue magic spell. What it does is you can, when it hits an enemy, it doesn't deal hit point damage, it steals their MP. So you can use it to drain an enemy's MP. And so if it's a really bad spellcaster monster, you can drain all its MP, and then it's useless. It can't use any of its spells. So it's a kind of a protection spell for you. Now we defeated Biblos, and now we can talk with Mr. Mid here. Huh? I told you not to bother me when I'm reading. Don't tell me you were engrossed in that book the whole time. The whole time? Oh, now that you mention it, I did hear some rustling behind me. Oh, was that you? And we groan. You gotta be kidding. A strange bird, this one. Whatever, guess it's time to go back. Huh? You guys coming too? I know a shortcut. Yay, shortcuts! He must be pretty tough, Mid, to get through this dungeon by himself. And hey, we scared that guy off the ladder. Mid, there you are! Mid, you're alright. Thank you for finding Mid. Thank goodness you're back. Huh? You came to save me? Yeah, we did. Actually, we gotta get you to help save your grandpa. I don't know what I need to be saved from, but it was nice of you anyway. Hey, look at this. And he pulls out a book. I found the most amazing book. Check it out. I bet with this method, we could repower the fire-powered ship. I gotta tell Grandpa Sid about it right away. Sid? Oh, you know of him? He's my grandfather. Grandpa is so awesome. When he's researching, he's unstoppable. He never gives up until he's found the solution. Uh-oh. Maybe that's how he was in the past, but now... What are you talking about? I'm just saying he sure is acting like he's given up now. What? He would never do that. Uh-oh. He's back. Wait, Mid! I guess he's probably gonna run back to Karnak and see if he can help with Grandpa out. So let's see if any of these people say anything new. Nope. Nope. Nope, not these people. They're not gonna say anything new. And no one on this floor either. But we can heal ourselves up because, you know, we have a nice trek back to Karnak. It's not that far, but, you know, we can run into those chimeras again in the desert. They're basically the only enemy in that desert. So, you know, you could try to avoid stepping in the desert as much as possible to avoid that enemy. But actually, we want to encounter another one because I want to catch it again, so. Mid rushed out of the library. He said something about finding Professor Sid. Mid was muttering something about the professor. Mid just ran out of here. He looked pretty upset. I think Mid is going to be alright. I think that's what they said. They scrolled really quick there. Yeah, we're just going to head back to Karnak now. Because now we know that's where Mid's going to cheer up his grandpa. Show him that book he found. I'm going to want to get an encounter here in the desert. And I caught another chimera there. And wow, we got into a lot of encounters on our way back here. But not new. We saw all these enemies. And now we're going to head back into Karnak here. And remember, Sid is hanging out in the pub. That's where he was, you know, I guess being depressed in the second floor. So let's go see if Mid found him yet. Most people here don't have much new to say. Sid! Mid isn't here? Come on, man, pull yourself together. Leave me alone. Don't waste your time on a worthless old lump like me. Grandpa! Mid? He's like wailing away on him. Ouch, Mid, stop that. What are you doing? What am I doing? What are you doing, you silly old fool? You never give up. Never! Mid, you always told me not to be afraid of failing. That if you messed up, you just have to start over and try again. Mid, just try again. Mid, you're absolutely right. All right, Sid is back to his old self again. Of course I am. It's not over. The Earth Crystal is still around. Yeah, but where? I don't know. But we've got to find it and protect it. And to do that, we'll need the fire-powered ship. Yes, we need the fire-powered ship moving again. But without the crystal, way ahead of you, Grandpa. Check this out. Oh, where'd you dig this up? Ah, I see, like that. Nice work, Mid. This could do it. Alright, let's get to work. And now they're gonna go and repair the fire-powered ship with whatever information Mr. Mid has found. The fire's getting weaker. Professor Skid skipped out of here, happy as can be. I think this other guy says something the same thing. Wonder what happened. Yeah, we found his grandson, and grandson cheered him up. And I'm just gonna go back, sell some of the equipment in this, in the item shop. Buy a few more flame rods. I want to eventually get 99 of all different types of rods. So that's where most of the money's gonna be going to. It doesn't matter which ones you get. But one thing we do want to do is we want to switch out to fire rods back to lightning rods, because we're going to be running into some water monsters in our next episode. Now I'm just going to show off here what happens if you use page 32 and it hits. It just sucks Biblos right down a hole, and boom! Instant defeat. So, I'll catch you next time, minions, when we find Sid and Mid and see what they're going to do with the fire-powered ship. So take care, minions. Have a good day. Bye!